Good morning, everyone, and welcome to In Real Life, brought to you by Social Impact Film Club, where you get to watch amazing documentary films. I'm Shabu, your host, and today we have a chaser of sunsets, a trailblazer, and a kid at heart, the director of Uncle Tommy, Tan Shi Ying. Remember to answer your questions in the comments below and stay tuned for the trivia game with some cool prizes to be won. And also remember to like and share this Facebook Live as well. Now, before Sheehan comes on, let's watch the trailer to Uncle Tommy. The full film is now available on filmclub.sg, so if you've not watched it or if you've not signed up, please go register. It's free for a limited time. Now, without further ado, let's watch Uncle Tommy's trailer.
老人就叫我肥宅，肥宅，就是所说的肥的孩子。一个人，除了你有孩子，你已经有寄托 ，OK， 你放松，孩子会帮你弄。假如你是单身的话，你要走的时候，你也会想，你走了怎么办？谁来帮你料理这个后事？没有人会接手，你又没有钱还人家，所以谁会叫好心来帮我？
Hi, Shi Ying. Welcome to the club. I think you might be muted right now. Hello. Yep. I can't hear you at the moment. Okay, maybe okay, sorry everyone for the technical difficulty, but perhaps Shi Ying, you can try reconnecting. And as we wait, I'll just share a little bit about you and the film. Okay, everyone. So today we actually have Shi Ying's, again, apologies for the technical difficulty there. Shi Ying has actually been, she's been part of Amber for some time now. And in 2016, she actually took part in an initiative together with us called Boom Boom Sunsets. And this was an initiative that brought together migrant workers in Singapore as well as youth from all from various backgrounds. Hi, Shing. I think we can hear you now.
Okay,
Hi, yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Welcome,
Sorry,
welcome to the club.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I was just sharing a little about how you first got involved with Amber and how you were part of the Boom Boom Sunsets project. And that was awesome. And that was the first time we got to see you in action with the community. So just to share a little bit about that initiative and that story, every weekend we had migrant workers and Singaporean youth come together. They built a relationship over the year, engaged in various different activities, but Shi Ying took it to the next level. She actually became very good friends with one of the migrant workers who participated in the initiative. Her name is Koi Koi, right? And if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong here, Shi Ying, but like she even met your family, and you continued that relationship even after she left Singapore, right?
She didn't meet my family, but we kept in contact.
You went out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now she's in Shanghai. Yeah, like her story, she moved around. Yeah.
Awesome, and that just shows you Shi Ying's dedication in the social impact space. She's really passionate about social justice, and she's continued her work. And Uncle Tommy is just one of the, I guess, projects that she worked on in growing her passion. So Xing, how about you give everyone a little bit of a flavor of who you are and share a little bit about Uncle Tommy.
Yeah, so hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in live on in real life. Yeah, so um okay,
You
yeah.
got
So
major fans, I see. A super
friends,
talent and inspirational person.
that's
Sorry,
us.
go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so now I'm currently in my final year in university. So I'm studying in NTU. Yeah, so I'm actually doing environmental earth system science. So in a way, it's a bit unrelated to what I was pursuing. Yeah, but I think that's also another story. Yeah, but for me, I think when Amber first approached me for this like documentary filmmaking class like a few years ago. Yeah, I was like, okay, sure, like very rare opportunity. Yeah, so I took on that chance. Yeah, and I think through this whole process, it made me realize like one opportunity can really go a long way. Yeah, so through that, that's when I first started to think about more like, okay, yeah, what is this short documentary that I want to make? Yeah, so that's how I met Uncle Tommy through my mom actually. Yeah, and then began that process of like curating this short film. Yeah, and unexpectedly it took me to some places. Yeah, so
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. Into how you got to know about Uncle Tommy, those first interactions with him, and how it eventually became a documentary short that you directed, produced, and created. So we'll definitely get into that. But I have some questions for you just to get to know you a little better, and for the audience
Okay.
to get to know you. This is actually the first in real life that we've hosted in the morning. So my first question is: if your mood today was a weather forecast, what would it be?
Wow, so creative. Okay. uh, Sunny, because like literally it's sunny, and also because yeah, like getting
Sunny.
into Shah's vibe, like energy, like in the morning.
Yeah, and you have a very sunny disposition as well. So I think that's a well, very appropriate weather forecast. So it's sunny today. Hopefully, it's a sunny Saturday for everyone else as well. And
Yes.
my second question is: if you had to choose another name for yourself, what would it be?
Wow.
Putting you in a spot
someone,
here.
someone once said I look like a Betty, but I don't think so.
A
So
Betty? Why a
yeah, but
Betty?
I don't. They say I look like a Betty, like
Look like a Betty. I wonder what.
yeah,
I
but
wonder how a Betty looks like.
I don't know. Yeah, but maybe like joy. I don't know. Like just joy. Like
Joy,
yeah, maybe yeah.
again, very very aligned with your sunny disposition. Joy, great. And lastly, if you are given a mentor tomorrow for one day only, who would you choose?
That's so hard. There's so many good like mentors out there.
Okay,
I
how
don't
about
know.
your top three?
Top three.
Yeah,
What if like any is fine? Like no like key preferences. Like I mean, cause yeah, we can learn from anyone.
okay, yeah, that's fair
Yeah,
enough. That's a great answer. You can learn from anyone and everyone that's around you, right?
yeah,
Not only just one mentor.
yeah. I guess.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for indulging me in these three questions. Right now, I'm gonna ask the audience or who has joined us on this Saturday morning, including Asif. I'll be asking trivia questions, and we actually have a cool prize today. I'll share a little bit about the prize after I ask my first question. Uh, but I will have a total of three questions, and I will ask it as we go along in the show. But this is the first question. It's related to the film Uncle Tommy, and it is: what is Uncle Tommy's charity called? This should be fairly easy, super straightforward. If we played the trailer to Uncle Tommy a little earlier on, and the name of the charity was stated there on the
So
screen. Yes, and so for today's prize, we actually have quite a cool prize. If we could just pull up that image. Yes, awesome. So what you see there is the Idea Play figurine. So we've had a few edibles, I guess, as prizes, and we wanted to bring a creative prize to you. So this is a tool that you can use in terms of building your creativity. Of course, so with this special surface that's on the Idea Play figurine, if you use any dry erase marker, you can write on it, color it, and you can simply erase it off. So we've used this in a number of different situations, in terms of reflections, in terms of just coloring, even like understanding each other's personality. We use this as a tool. So it's really up to your imagination. It's an interesting little tool and little toy that you can use. Okay, we have the first answer by Tiziana. Love and Unity Volunteers Establishment. In short, love or love. How do you actually say it, Chiying?
I think both is fine. Love or love. Love
Love or
maybe.
love?
Yeah.
Again, up to your imagination and interpretation. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tiziana. Congratulations. You'll be getting an Idea Play figurine. Woohoo! Okay, now Shiying, let's get back to our conversation. You were sharing a little about how you met Uncle Tommy through your mom, and how you learned about the awesome, great work that he does. So share with us a little about the interactions that you have. Those first interactions, how you reacted in learning the type of work that he does, because it is very interesting what he does. So please go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the first time I met him, so my mom passed me his Uncle Tommy's contact. So I contacted him, and the first thing he told me was like, okay, I'll be at Kutik Part Hospital today. Yeah, because he's collecting some, or like doing some health checkup. So I met him there in a
Okay.
hospital setting the very first time I met him. Yeah, so he's very forthcoming. Yeah, so I think just learning about, and very hands on. So like, to learn about what he does, it's not just about him talking, but he'll tell you, okay, the next time I have anything, I'll just voice message you, and then you come. So I learn really like through seeing and not just through like
Yeah.
his words. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like during classes, I can get a voice message from him saying like, oh, okay, I have a body to collect at so and so mortuary. Do you want to
Mhm.
come? Yeah. So very raw and real like experiences that he'll link me up with. So honestly, at the
Yeah.
start, I think it was more of really like just opening my eyes to like go through the motion of like his day
Yeah.
to day life, and yeah, before I started the filmmaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
must have been quite a stark sort of introduction to the work, especially when it's hands on. For those watching who might not know what Uncle Tommy and Love or Loof does, why don't you share a little bit about the charity, the organization, and what they do?
Yeah, so Uncle Tommy, he's like a pro bono. He provides pro bono funeral services. Yeah, so he has an organization on his own. So like in the first trivia question, so that's Love and Unity Volunteer Organization. Yeah, so through that, he reaches out to actually elderly population living in certain parts of Singapore. Yeah, and then for actually single elderlies, social workers will actually contact him to carry out these last rites for these elderly with no next of kin, or those who don't have relatives who actually want to carry out the last rites. So he'll carry them out on behalf, yeah, for free. Yeah, so that's the work that Uncle Tommy does. Yeah.
Awesome. And I understand that beyond the pro bono funerals that he offers to those with no next of kin, he does a lot of outreach work with seniors as well. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. So that is through his also his organization. Loof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he runs like various activities with seniors.
Yep. So mostly they're targeting like elderly. Yeah. So he do like outreach like to those living in Bukit Merah. Yeah. For
In
example.
the Bukit Merah area. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And so, what I mean, learning about his work, through I don't know, perhaps his website or Facebook and whatnot, is one thing, but then to experience what he does in real life on the daily, that must have been something completely different. So, how did you feel as you were walking through that experience with Uncle Tommy? As he's collecting the body, for example, to that eventual point when he releases the ashes in the ocean.
Yeah. So uh, I think definitely following him, like when he went for like the embalmment process. So like seeing it like the embalmment process, and also to collecting the ashes. Yeah. So I think honestly at the start I was just like really just taking it all in. So it's still quite raw. So not a lot of like deep feelings yet. And also because I had to focus more on like the technical aspects, like how do I film it. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
actually most of the thoughts also came like when I finished the film. Yeah, so going back with him again to help out with the sea burial, for example. Yeah, I think what stood out for me most was when we saw like actually like those bundles of ashes. Yeah, so actually there are
Mm-hmm.
some pictures that um yeah,
Yeah,
like
you
you
had
can
sent
refer.
over some pictures. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
so
show the audience the pictures as well. Yep. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
yeah, yeah. So I think though this was actually like one of the more like like really memorable in a sense moment. Yeah, because actually like looking at it like going out into sea, right? Like these seven bundles were actually once seven individuals. Yeah, so like to think about it is quite stuck for me. Yeah, like trying to just visualize. Okay, before me actually once seven alive like individuals, but now actually they're just these bundles. Yeah, and then to think about
Mm-hmm.
how like they didn't have any like keen to like carry out these last rites. Yeah, that also made me think about what were these stories of these individuals before, they passed on like that. Yeah.
Was it an at certain points? I guess you were saying initially it didn't really sink in yet,
Mm.
but during that process, at any point of that process, was it an? Did you get very emotional? Were you like hugely impacted? I'm sure Uncle Tommy shared stories with you. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I think definitely through the stories that he shared were like quite impactful. Yeah, so he would share stories about how, for example, like elderly, like just husband and wife, yeah, and then like very old age, and then the wife would actually ask him, and then they share about their deep stories about how they want to ask Uncle Tommy's help, yeah, to carry out certain last rites. So I think the impact really comes from like these more personal stories about like the stories of these individuals themselves, yeah, and um, I think more of it was like very reflective process throughout the entire
Mm-hmm.
journey. Yeah, and also hearing about like in a way the business of death itself. Yeah, was also
Yep.
another uh like revelation or insight for me. Yeah.
And so what's your impression or your take on death and as you put it, the business of death, having gone through that whole journey with Uncle Tommy. I'm sure it has
Mm.
impacted you personally, as you said, in terms of reflecting on your own life. So how has that impression perhaps changed for you?
Mm. I think like about business of death is to realize that actually, yeah, even like in this capitalistic world, like even at death, there can be so many things regarding like price, cost, like even
Mm-hmm.
it's not spared, the whole venture or business of death. Yeah, because like Uncle Tommy will share about how like some cost of like funeral services or like last rites, there can be also competitive like prices. Yeah, so
Mm,
then there's also the question of like why do certain elderly not have like their last rites conducted by anyone. Yeah, so like there can be several reasons. Like first is like because they don't have a next of kin, or another reason is like because no relatives want to actually carry out the last rites, which can be also for
mhm.
several reasons, like insufficient like money, or like family conflicts, so no one wants to
Yeah.
acknowledge. Yeah, so all this gets very actually in a way like politics in a way, but also like to think about how like even within death, at the point of death itself, there can be, so it reveals a lot about the social fabric, between people
Yeah.
or relationships. Yeah, so I think it
Yeah, I'm
made
sure.
me, it made me
Yeah, no,
think
I'm sure
about,
there's a
yeah.
myriad of factors that come into
Mm,
play, and I guess yeah, for it must be quite well, at least in my opinion, it would be sad to have to deal with such situations on a
mm,
daily. But I'm sure Uncle Tommy has taken it in his stride as well.
yeah.
We have a question from Tiziana. How did you convince Uncle Tommy to get on camera?
Actually, he's pretty used to being like filmed because he does a lot of selfie with me. Yeah, so I think getting him on camera was quite okay because it's like, oh sure, just that
He's
like
already a superstar.
yeah, yes, yeah, like some newspapers have
Yeah.
covered him before, so he's okay, quite natural with yeah, like
Yeah, awesome. I see
cameras.
that. So I really see that you have some fans, some international fans, Shi Ying. We have Muhammad Mukul joining us from Bangladesh. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Mukul.
Mukul. Yeah, Mukul used to work in Singapore.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Okay. So you do you still keep in contact with Uncle Tommy?
Yeah,
Or have
so
you
like
you spoken to him recently, yeah?
yeah, so actually recently we met Uncle Tommy. Yeah, like just to catch up on him. Yeah, and to hear from him lah. Yeah.
So any updates on his charity or maybe new initiatives that he's working on?
Mm, I think currently I think COVID did affect some of like the elderly population there. Yeah, but I think now, I mean, from when we last met him, he was just like, I mean, in the business, what he's doing, right? There are like peaks and lows, like times when okay, he's very busy, and times when
Yep.
like he's really like free. Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, I think so. Like just catching up with him. Uh, Currently he's just doing what he can to like revamp his office a bit. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course, like there are still some ashes left to be claimed, so he'll continue with what he's
I
doing.
see. Because
Yeah,
I'm sure with the COVID safety measures, would be difficult for him to engage the seniors, right? I mean, because usually he has like group activities and whatnot.
yeah. I think that also cut down a bit. Yeah, and I think he shared about how like example in the Bukit Merah, quite a lot of cases. So I think it's harder
Yeah,
to have like
yeah,
his weekly like activities down like in person.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. Okay, we have a question from Thaddeus. Uncle Tommy is seen saying a few words before dropping the ashes into the sea. What does he say?
So actually, those are actually like small words of prayer that he would say. Yeah, or like just words to say like yeah, like he can yeah, like just go in peace. Like just few words of last words like for these elderly. Yeah.
Okay, and can you share that process a little? I mean, I know you went on the boat together with Uncle Tommy. Yeah, just share that whole like I guess like procession. Yeah, when he takes the ashes, says those few words, releases the ashes into the ocean. Yeah, take us through
Mm.
for those who perhaps have not watched the documentary.
Yeah, so actually the very start is like claiming the body, right? So usually he'll get like a call from a social worker saying that okay, there's this so and so deceased. So like Uncle Tommy will go down to claim the body. So then he'll take it from the mortuary, then also carry out embalmment, yeah, or and then he'll cremate it so like the ashes will be collected another day. Yeah, so when you collect the ashes, after that, because when you pack it up in the bundle, usually you have flowers scattered on top first, right? After the ashes
Mm-hmm.
are poured out. Yeah. So actually I learned something from him recently. Yeah. So actually when I followed him during the film, he we didn't do that but only after the filmmaking when I met up with him again, yeah, and I followed him, then he showed me this thing that he did. So it was that basically the flowers that he put on top of the ashes, actually these flowers he take it from the dustbin. So actually when people have funeral services, they have very fresh flowers, right, aligning like the photo
Mm-hmm.
frames. Yeah, but very often people just discard these fresh flowers into the dustbin. Yeah, but actually these flowers can be used. Yeah, so actually
Okay.
we pick up from the dustbin like all these fresh flowers. Yeah, because they're
That's
honestly really
awesome.
fresh.
That's like that's integrating
Yeah,
recycling and reusing into
yeah.
this trade, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, the first time I did, I was like, oh, a bit shocked, like, oh, I didn't know. But then it makes sense when he explained it. Like, I mean, so fresh flowers, why go to waste, right? And I mean, for these who they don't have much fun. So I mean, every resource is so precious. So we'll just first hand pick up from the dustbin, like all these fresh flowers, and then we pick it up in plastic bags. Then when we collect the ashes, we would put the flowers on top. Yeah, then it'll be in those red bundles we saw. Yeah, so
Yep.
actually red and white cloth have also different meaning. So red is usually for like Buddhists or like Taoists, and then white cloth are usually for like Christians or like atheists. Yeah, so based on their religion, they'll be bundled in different like cloths. Yeah, then Uncle Tommy will write their name on the cloth so that he can know which bundle is which person. Yeah, then we'll bring down to Changi. So he would call this boatman. Yeah, so he'll usually cater the same boat. Yeah, and then he'll go out to, we'll just scatter the ashes. Yeah, so there's also a meaning to where the boat goes out to. Yeah, so it usually
Okay.
goes out to the area where it actually leads out to the main sea. Yeah, so the meaning is that okay, like yeah, this is like the entrance to the world, like the sea. So yeah, just depart from there. Yeah, so that's where the boat usually hovers, like at the mouth where it meets like the big sea. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, that's really interesting. Learned something new today.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to take this time to ask my second question. And it is, when was Uncle Tommy's charity established? Again, straightforward, simple. If you watch the trailer or the film, or if you perhaps went to look up Uncle Tommy's organization, LUVE, on Facebook, you might find some information. So he's been doing this a really long time. Did Has he ever shared with you? I don't know, perhaps like beyond just day to day challenges, right? So funding, for example, of course, is a huge challenge. I'm sure there are emotional challenges that he faces as well. Has he ever mentioned perhaps some sort of regret? That maybe he had, you know, could have considered a different path for his career and for his life. Did you gain
Mm.
any of those insights speaking to Uncle Tommy?
I think he's quite a simple and like direct and straightforward person. Yeah, so to him it's like, like don't think so much, like really live life as how you would want people to treat you back. Yeah, so like very ground to like down to earth. Yeah, so in terms of regrets, I don't think he would have any regrets as of like what I've heard from him. Yeah, because to him it's like really just leading a simple life. Yeah, like doing what we can to serve those around. Yeah, like less is more. Yeah, like
Yeah.
in a way is who he is. Yeah,
Well, that's
so
like really practical lessons as well.
yeah.
Less is more, serving those around you, and I guess that gives him his sense of purpose because it is a difficult job. Uh, yep. We have an answer from Thaddeus, 1986. Is that correct, Ching?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, Thaddeus, we got it right. Woo! Thank you, Thaddeus, for taking part in this trivia segment. And we'll have one more question later on, so please stay tuned. Okay, now I'd like to move our conversation onto more of your filmmaking process and your filmmaking journey. So share with us. So you've already shared with us how you met him, how you walked through his day to day activities and learning about what he does. But share with us, how it is being a first time filmmaker. This is your first venture into filmmaking, documentary filmmaking. So from that first point, right, the workshop, learning the basics and how to create your documentary, all the way to then producing it and even going to the National Youth Film Awards in Singapore. Like, take us through that journey.
Yeah, okay. So I think yeah, like right at the very start, it was actually just very introductory, like okay, yes, like just a workshop, right, about learning about filmmaking. So I think I didn't have any expectations. Yeah, but really just like really out of curiosity and wanting to learn something new. Yeah, and also like of course I was interested in like
Yeah, I
storytelling as
must I must say that's another practical lesson for life. low, no or low expectations with just an expectation to learn.
wow,
Awesome.
okay.
Okay, sorry,
you,
sorry to
you
interrupt.
phrase it very well. Yeah, so I think through it then, I mean, as part of that workshop, we had this assignment, right? We just like to come up with a short film. Yeah, so I think for me, when I do things, I like to think out of the box. So I don't want to like do what, like the conventional. So I was trying to search like some interesting stories. Then actually my mom told me about Uncle Tommy. And then I think my first impression was, oh, like I didn't know actually like Sea Burial was conducted in Singapore. Yeah, so actually that began like the journey of like finding Uncle Tommy and like learning from him. Yeah, but of course, like during the entire filmmaking process, I mean, because it's really my first time, so I would say I was very like immature, like really just taking it as it comes. Yeah, like just doing what I can to like film. Yeah, and I actually borrowed one of my friend's camera to film. Yeah, so and I didn't have a mic, so actually Thomas, who was our instructor for like the workshop, he gave me his mic. Then I was like, wow, okay, like really immature, like just going around doing what I can. Yeah, so of course, I mean at that time it was also in the midst of my A levels, so um, I think at some point it was also quite rushed. Yeah, I mean, so looking back on that film, now I realize actually there's so many things I can improve. Like I didn't even write a credit for like for this short film, like number one. Yeah, and so but I think looking back, I think the story was the main purpose of it. So of course technically wise, there's a lot of things to improve on. Yeah, but the journey was yeah
And
was smooth.
do you think it was successful on that front, like being able to tell his story? Like what happened after after creating it? Like what do you do? Like do
Mm.
you share it in different spaces? Yeah, how do you get your story out there?
Yeah, so I think through this entire process, like I mean, it's actually been like a few years, like 3 years since this film was made. Yeah, so I think like when Shah approached me for this in real life or like someone said cinema, yeah, then it made me realize again like wow, actually it's been so many years, but um like it made me see how actually one film can have actually a lasting impact. Yeah, like even
Yeah.
though I made it quite a while ago, but through it I can still in a way
Mm-hmm.
create conversations. Yeah, so I think through it, like I have a few teachers who invited me to share like this short film with students and like
Yeah.
talk to them about it. So I think that was a key learning point.
Yeah, I recall that we had a screening of your film and also a sharing together with you and Uncle Tommy Live, where you were hosting the conversation at a
Mm,
secondary school. So that was really fascinating for the students because I mean they're
mm,
young, the kids are part of an educational program, but I think watching that film and then hearing from you and hearing from Uncle Tommy really impacted them and struck a chord.
mm,
So I feel that well, this is a great educational resource or tool just to begin
mm.
that conversation of death. And well, I guess ironically or in turn, when we talk about death, then we speak about life. How do we
Yeah.
live our own lives, right? And as you
Mm,
had mentioned before, it's sort of going through this whole thing is a reflective process for you, thinking about your own personal life.
yeah.
So I think
Definitely.
that's really awesome, and I hope you continue to share your story.
Mm,
Hopefully, with more members that come onto filmclub.sg and watch the film, they get to learn about what Uncle Tommy does as well. Now we are nearly out of time, but before you leave us and enjoy your sunny weekend, I would like to ask you. So you've already shared some nuggets of wisdom, but if I were to ask you for one, what would be your advice for everyone watching on how to live your best life?
wow, it's like so deep. Yeah.
Man,
Mm,
that's how we do it on in real life, you know.
yeah, the deep questions. Yeah, but uh, I think for me, like throughout this entire process, what how it has changed me is that yeah, to really think deeper about um yeah, I mean like to the topic of life and death, there are many approaches that people take, right? Like first is that okay, I mean death is as it is, like when it comes, it comes. So let me just live my life as it is. Like doesn't really matter, don't have to think too much. Yeah. Then secondly, there are those who think more, right? Yeah, like how do I actually in a way create memories or like create an impact in how I live. Yeah, then I mean there are also those who turn to religion, right? Think more about yeah, what is there a way out of this like cycle of like in Chinese they call it 生老病死, which is like death,
生老
aging,
病死.
yeah, which is like life, aging, sickness and death, like the cycle of this life, aging, sickness and death. Yeah, so like there are different approaches that people take. And I think for me, I mean, through this it just made me more in a way conscious of how I live in that yeah, like in every small thing I do, I want to also like in a way make everyone happy around me. Yeah, and also like just like also learning from Uncle Tommy, like being simple life and doing what we can to impact in every way we can. Yeah, and in how we live. Yeah, he's very general, but yeah,
No, I think that's great. So essentially, positively impacting people around you every day, right?
yeah,
To kind of like sum it up, with every small interaction that you might have, to
mm,
hopefully leave that person or that situation or that relationship a little bit better.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Would you like to give a shout out to Uncle Tommy's organization, or how can
Mhm.
people contribute to what Uncle Tommy is doing?
Yeah, so like, uh, so Uncle Tom is very quite interesting. Like in Chinese, he was telling me 你要捐钱还是捐人都可以, which is saying like you can donate money if you want to donate money or people. You're welcome to like. So basically, you just contact him at his organization. Like on Facebook, you can find love and unity. Yeah, and
Yeah,
or you can
we'll
contact.
leave the link to the Facebook
Yeah,
in the chat, in the comment
yeah.
section.
So you can give him a call directly if there's anything or you want to find out more from him. Yeah, so he's very
How
open.
would one get his number?
So it's on his Facebook page. You can call
On
the
his
office
Facebook page.
number.
Okay.
Yeah, or for
Okay.
his personal
Great.
phone number, I think can let me know as well. I can pass it on. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Maybe we'll leave your email in the comments later on as well, so that if
Okay.
people want to reach out to you, they can.
Okay.
And also, if anyone wants to do a screening of Uncle Tommy, please reach out to Shi Ying, or myself, and we can definitely arrange that.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Ying. I definitely enjoyed our conversation today, and again learned a lot from you. I've always enjoyed. The Amber team has always enjoyed working with you, and we hope to continue to work with you in time to come. So thank you very
Yes.
much, Ying.
Yeah. Thanks.
And
Thank you.
thank you, and thank you everyone for joining us in real life today, bright and early on a sunny Saturday. If you've not watched Uncle Tommy, please go and visit filmclub.sg. We'll leave the link in the comments as well. If you've not registered, go and sign up. It's free at the moment. Now, it's quite exciting. We've had a series of 6 documentary shorts that we've hosted on filmclub.sg, and we are going to move on to feature length documentaries. And I'm super excited to share with you the first feature length documentary that we will be releasing on the platform, or on the network, which is titled Sufra. So before you leave, please stay on a little longer to catch the trailer to Sufra. Thank you everyone for joining me on In Real Life. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Cheers.
المشكلة إنه إحنا ظروف البلد صعبة.
ما في شغل بلبنان، ما في مستقبل، فبحس حالي فعلا بالسجن.
شو اللي ممكن إحنا نعمله لنحسن أدائنا ومستوانا؟ كانوا عم بيقولوا يا ريت نعمل شيء له علاقة بالطبيخ.
عندي كل شيء طيب عندي.
A group of amazing women have started their own catering company in Bir Barajne refugee camp in Lebanon. We're launching this Kickstarter campaign to buy a food truck.
A project such as Miriam's improve our local community.
بتحسي بحالك أكتر، بتحسي بقيمتك أكتر، إنك أنت عم تعطي أكتر.
أول ما ولا مرة أنا طلعت بدك تخيلي بهالوقت أنا بدي أتعلم السواقة.
التجربة هي بتعطي للواحد أمل لقدام.
احنا قدمنا كل اوراقنا للنافعه محل ما بتتسجل الدراج، بس لازم يمضيها وزير الداخليه.
There are a lot of obstacles, regulations and laws regarding these people. It's unjust for them.
هناك تشديد على إعطاء رخص العمل لغير اللبنانيين.
وجبت لك انا كل الاوراق.
انت فوتر لك اياه من عندي، بده يكون عندك معك رخصه تقدر اعطيك اياه.
بضل الواحد قلقان. هول الستات متكلين على هالشي. كل لاجئ بحاله حلم، دائما بيحلموا بالحياه الافضل.
For them, there is no plan B. Plan B is repeat plan A until it works out.
بحس انه احنا عم نعطي صرنا طاقه ايجابيه لحدا تاني غيرنا.
النسوان بتقدر تجرب كل شيء، بتقدر تشتغل باي شيء، وهلا بالعصر اللي نحن فيه كل شيء عم تشتغل المراه.
She's giving these people hope.
الإنسان لازم يكون شوي جريء وشجاع إنه يجرب.
نأمل انه تكون الحياه افضل في المستقبل.